One second, Tim. All right, so thank you everyone for joining us this evening for this July contest winner interview. We're going to jump into the interview in just a second, but before we do that, I wanted to provide a little background about myself and a little background about this interview. As for myself, my name is O'Brien, and I am the CEO of the Dorian Way. The Dorian Way is an options mentoring firm that specializes in teaching individuals on a one-on-one basis. We have at the Dorian Way what we call a follow and learn process where we encourage our members to follow the trades that we do in 3 different accounts. We have an account that we call All Speculation, and we have an account that we call Bread and Butter. Our Bread and Butter account is we just trade in stock indexes, options on stock indexes. Our speculation account is we trade all different type of things like options on stock, options on futures contracts, things like that. And then we have what we call a one day a month trading account where we teach people how to make consistent income, just literally trading 1 day a month. It's for retirement accounts, people who have really busy jobs that can't trade a lot, and then just people that don't want to trade a lot. Those accounts, and through our Dorian Way School and a lot of different teaching classes that we have for members, we try to teach them how to consistently make income. Our value proposition is that we want you to at least be able to learn how to supplement your income. And we encourage members initially just to follow those 3 different accounts. But we do not want members to be robots. So we have what we call a performance contest winner each month. And we give a monetary reward to the member that has the best performance each month. And for July, that was Tim. So let's jump into an interview with Tim. Good evening, Tim. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, O'Brien. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Appreciate you being here. Tim, just to jump right in, and let's give a little background about yourself. Tell us like what city you live in, a little background about your work history, a little background about your family life, things like that. If you can start us off with that, that'd be awesome.
Certainly. Again, my name is Tim Neal. I live in a little community called Augusta Pines, which is in Spring, Texas, just outside of the Woodlands. Yeah, I'm married to my wonderful wife, Liz, for the last 14 years. I was formerly spent many years in the telecommunications industry. Due to COVID, my employment has been off and on for the last year. Currently, I'm unemployed, except that I consider myself a full-time trader now.
Okay, awesome. So Tim, what's your education background, just for people to know, because when we talk about your formers, they're gonna be astonished. So we want to make sure that do you have like a big math background? Do you have what type of education background do you have?
I have a technology background.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in high tech for over the last 25 years. My degree is actually in electronics engineering and technical management.
Okay.
So I have a very technical background. So I am pretty math heavy. Not as much as some people, but I do enjoy a little math.
Okay. Awesome. So Tim, kind of let's step back a little second and kind of give us a little background about your trading history. When did you start trading, and what did you start trading? What did you start doing when you started trading?
Yeah, I originally got started back in 1999. Kind of got caught up in the dot-com craze. Had no clue what I was doing, and no one really to teach me. So it was very short-lived. The trying to trade some dot-com stocks. I got back into it a few years ago, and it really came by accident. I was looking for ways to make sure I properly managed my retirement.
Hmm.
I didn't want to get caught up where, like the housing crisis, where a lot of people lost up to 50% of their retirement. And I knew many people that had to go back to work. So I was just trying to better understand it and better management of it. And it kind of was all packaged together, and I was kind of bitten by the trading bug and started right then and there. I
Okay.
started with honestly, I started with $1,100 I won off a fantasy football league, and the that's kind of what started it all.
Well,
And
that's good.
I've grown it a lot since then.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hey, whatever your stake is, the start, right? And if
That's
you,
what got me started.
yeah, and you caught the bug. You caught the bug. That was an interesting time to start trading in the late 90s. I call it the wild wild west of the market at that time. It was a real fun time to be trying to make money because whatever you did, it felt like you won, if you were on the bullish side. But that all came to a crashing end, and
Yes, it did.
yeah, so markets can actually go down, huh?
And companies that weren't real to begin with kind of fall apart and go away.
Yeah, yeah. So when did you start trading options, Tim? You started with stock, and then when did you get to options?
I started trading options actually right before I joined the Dorian Way,
Mhm.
and I learned how to do the wheel trade, and that was where I started, and that's when I started looking for places where I could learn more about options trading.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was first. I also did a little future scalping before that.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
that was a lot of fun, but it's pretty um, time intensive. You have to pay
Mm.
attention to what's going on.
Okay.
So I really like the options, and that's what led me to the Dorian Way. That search to find, the right education outlet for that.
Okay, yeah, awesome, awesome. So how did you get introduced to us, Tim? Do you remember how you found us? What, you
I
know?
did. So I actually had a pretty successful group on Meetup
Hmm.
when I lived in Katy, Texas,
Hmm.
and so I went and just looked on Meetup, and that's where I found it. And then I just started doing more and more research from there, watching the YouTube videos, and what I saw I really liked, and I liked that it was local,
Hmm.
and that there was a lot of one-on-one time and a lot of FaceTime off the computer. That was what brought me to the Dorian Way.
Okay, awesome. I remember you, Tim, from just before, maybe a month or two before COVID hit. You and your wife came to a Saturday event that the other owner of the Dorian Way, Ernie Rep, was leading a in-person event. And back then we did in-person events most of the time. We only did a webinar once a month. And Tim was there, and I remember you signing up immediately after that, Tim. And you,
Exactly.
yeah, I believe you started with our trading club, um, and then you joined with a 12-month package. And so I got
That's
to get to
correct.
know you over. I got to meet you and get to know you better weekly for a year. And so tell us what was going on, Tim, when you first started. Like, for example, when you first started with the Dorian Way, you were new to options and so forth. What was going on, if you can remember, when your account, and what was the outcome over a year, if you can remember?
Well, that first year was really, there were that was a very interesting year. There was a lot of market movement. We had the huge drop,
Hmm.
and then everything came back. I mean, I started doing trading just vertical spreads on ES because it was too volatile to even think about putting an iron condor on.
Hmm.
Uh, Actually, when I kind of got into that, there was a lot of people in the group that hit them while they had a bunch of iron condors actually in play that really did a lot of damage. So it was that first part was really exciting. There was a lot of good market movement. you could get into a 30-day position and be out of it 4 hours later at 80, 90% profit. So that was a lot of fun. When we first started talking, even before we got into the one-on-ones, it was, I had a pretty good strategy of what I wanted to do. I was looking for, that 30-day, that 14-day, and then that 0-day, 1-day trading. I tried to do it in that market. It didn't go very well. But I lived to trade another day, and we did a lot of good things, for the rest of the year, especially doing the bullish bears. That was a great strategy. At the time I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, to be able to make that, 3, 4, 5% a month with very minimal time, was a great strategy for me. The one I still use today, as part of my overall strategy.
Okay, so what Tim is referring to, everyone, it's a strategy that we call a bullish bear. It's when you buy a put spread and then you sell a put spread lower, and you do it for a credit. So it's giving you an automatic hedge. That's the bear part. But the bullish part is that it's overall a bullish trade because you're receiving a credit on it. And for you to lose, it has to go down significantly, and it has to, be enough to outpace the hedge that you have on as well.
Yes,
but
I've had my hedge come into play many times, and I've used that to actually finance my adjustment, to keep the trade in the same expiration date and keep it very profitable.
Okay.
So it's been a great strategy for me.
So what I remember mostly about you, Tim, is that when you started, you had a position on already. You had a big position on in Delta Airlines, and I remember that position going, going poorly for a while, right? So you and I,
for several months, it was very
yeah,
poor.
yes. So
Uh,
we worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, and you finally got out of it with a win, I believe,
and still
and then
making money on it.
yeah. So and at one time your account got hit really hard, right? It got hit
It
really
did.
bad, but you not only through COVID it got hit bad, but a little later with Delta Airline it got hit bad. But you were able to recover, and I believe at this point you're up over 100% this year, right?
That's correct.
That that
Yeah.
that.
So I did 20. I had the last 3 months have been really good. I did 22% the gain last month.
Mhm.
I am at that level now for this month and
Wow.
looking to exceed it this month. The I started, really pushing towards being a full-time trader in about the middle of June,
Hmm.
June 11th to be exact.
Okay. That was the day you
And
got laid off, I'm assuming, huh?
well, no, it was just when I finally decided to go back and retry the zero DTs and
Okay.
the zero
Awesome.
day trades. Again, I took a pretty good loss on
Hmm.
it and understood why I took the loss
Hmm.
and used that to grow and get back to where I can do them again at a different perspective,
Hmm.
and that is 100% the credit to you and Ernie and the Dorian Way, of really teaching that, how to make adjustments on a trade. And there are so many people out there that don't know how to adjust. They don't know when to adjust, where to adjust, or why to adjust. And I think that's the difference that you offer that a lot of people do not. And that I truly appreciate. And it's given me, a newfound respect for my trading, and that is that's why I'm having the success I'm having today.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I think it's mostly due to you, Tim. You had the bug to want to learn, you put the work in. I mean, to commit to a year is serious, and you've studied and you studied and you worked hard to get where you're at. You don't have the type of performance you've been having recently on luck, especially if you're trading some short-term things. You have to know what you're doing. And so that's pretty awesome. So Tim,
Yeah,
so
it's not for the faint of heart either. The 0 day tough is can be tough. It's and there it's a whole different set of rules, and that's really I think especially with spending that year with you, it's put me at a different level, and that's really it's been a big key to my success.
so for members of the Dorian Way, we had a special on teaching doing 0 day trades on Sunday night. Dr. Meadows gave a presentation on doing 0 day. But for people who are not members on listening to this interview, Tim, when you say 0 day, can you kind of explain that style? Is it
Yes.
trading? How's that style?
So for me, and I do a little differently than what Doc Meadows does, and he's doing a great job.
Mhm,
I really appreciated the video. The For me, my 0 DTE starts. It's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
mhm,
and it's when the bell opens. I start looking. I look at three things. I look
mhm,
at the SPX, which is the
mhm,
S&P 500,
mhm,
NDX, which is NASDAQ, and the
mhm,
RUT, which is the Russell.
mhm,
And of those three, we start looking for market direction,
mhm,
and then we start looking at what provides the most return on our investment.
mhm,
And there are days that certain ones are flat, and some that certain ones are, the premiums are really really good.
mhm,
So we wait about an hour and kind of look at the market direction.
mhm,
Uh, Pick an index that we want to trade. Do. We only start with one side.
mhm,
That is based on the market movement.
mhm,
The So we'll either do a put spread or a call spread.
mhm,
And they are small.
mhm.
They're the width of these they're only 10 to 20 points, never more than
Okay.
that.
Okay.
We,
Okay.
we the And that allows you have a lot more control over your buying power
Mhm,
and your risk. Buying power and risk are really the kind of the same thing. So you can scale in based on what you have available to trade with.
mhm,
So it makes it a very scalable trade. So then you'll put your put side or call side in, and then you wait and
mhm,
you let the market decide what it's going to do. The goal is to come in and turn it into an iron condor. It doesn't
mhm,
always happen. Uh, but we turn it into an iron condor, and then we wait again and look for that exit to get
mhm.
out with the best profit as possible. And sometimes that exit is going to expiration.
Okay. Okay.
That's when it gets a little interesting. You have to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable
Mhm,
and sitting there and waiting and trying to turn, because usually you get to a point where you're at a point of no return. You either win or lose.
mhm,
There's no, in what they that last hour, the power hour. There's not much you can do to adjust at that point.
That's
So
true.
it's
That's
it's
true.
it's definitely a different animal. I'm spending a lot of time learning it. I'm hoping, after a few more months and a little more documentation, I'll be able to come in and give some examples of that and show that technique,
Okay.
and how, for those that are interesting and maybe be able. Posted a couple trades in the
Mhm,
zero DTE page.
uh-huh.
Um, I'm trying to get a little more confidence in it before I
Mhm.
put too much in. I,
Okay.
I don't think, um, I've always, been one I would feel bad if somebody did a trade that I did and it didn't go well. So
Right.
I'm trying to be a little hesitant and trying to make sure that I get that good confidence up. I'm
Okay.
also doing a lot of 1 day trades and
Mhm.
4 day trades too. Like today I came in and I did um, I actually did a call spread on NDX that'll go overnight
Mhm.
and go into tomorrow. If it performs the way I expect it to, I hope to exit first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, after the market opens. If not, I will either enhance the trade or let it ride and look for an exit.
So for example purposes, what delta did you put that at? That trade that
It's
you
not
did
about
into the.
delta.
Uh-huh.
It's about the and it was at a 10 delta, but it was
Mhm.
about the risk reward. So it was about the price action I could get at that level. It just happened to
Okay.
be they're usually in between a 10, anywhere between 10 and 15 delta. The
Okay.
object is to try to get 10%.
Okay.
So and I got in at just under 10%. I think I was filled at 95 cents. So
Okay.
that's a 9.5%. The
Okay.
return on investment.
Mhm.
For about it was about I did 4 contracts, so it was about
Mhm.
$4,000 in buying power.
Okay. Okay.
Tastyworks
Perfect.
tries to round it up a little bit.
So what Tim is saying, he did a 10-point wide spread. It's $1,000 a spread. So if you did four contracts, it's $4,000 minus the premium that he received. So he received basically $400 to be able to do the trade. I like the trade because the Nasdaq has been up. What I think the day was the fourth straight day.
That's correct.
The VIX and the Nasdaq volatility was up today. It's a signal that maybe the market is going to slow down or be down tomorrow. I think it might be a good trade. So that's a you're being strategic about the process, which is great, and you're giving yourself a chance to be wrong by being at a delta no higher than a 15. You were at a 10, so it can actually continue to go up, but you'll still be fine. Um,
Yes.
with that said, Tim, is um, how much of how what's your win rate on that? Do you know to this point on the short-term trades, and is most of your account that you deploying money, is it on the longer term things, 30 to 60 days, if you consider that long term, but the more traditional Dorian way?
Right now, it's and I'm actually changing that mix a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I'm starting to balance out more of it. I also do, I do a lot of wheel trades,
Hmm.
and to me, a wheel trade that includes bionic bulls,
Hmm.
the and naked puts,
Hmm.
strangles. Yeah,
Okay.
to me, that's I consider that all a wheel trade, and I do a lot of those usually within that I try to do it around 14 days.
Okay.
So I'm trying to hit a balance. I'm trying to get to a balance of all three to kind of equal them out.
Okay.
I still like to play earnings trades,
Hmm.
and I kind of throw that in the 14-day bucket.
Okay.
So the object is just to get good balance on all three of them. Right here lately, it's the emphasis has been on the short-term stuff.
Hmm.
The long-term stuff has been more of a just to help that balance my account out,
Hmm.
and that will continue to grow. I want to get it. Ideally, I'd like everything to kind of be split in thirds.
Hmm.
But really, what I'm trying to do is to make that I'm trying to make X amount of dollars per week.
Correct.
Yeah, on Fridays I like to sit there and look at my account and say, I don't have to join corporate America next week. That's my
I,
goal every week.
I love it. I love it.
And right now I'm on a good streak, and my win rate has been pretty high. Yeah, there's not only being able to make adjustments on trades, you can also enhance a bad trade. there are times where I have been in a position that has been bad
Mm-hmm.
or going badly. I close the trade and redo it and offset that loss with a profit.
Okay.
So I still consider it in the same. It's the same. It's the same index. It's really doing the same thing. It's that daily goal of trying to meet. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I've closed some trades out at $3-4, uh, and gone back and re-put them on and actually added contracts to it to try to offset that loss and
Okay.
try to come out on the winning side.
Okay. It's similar to perhaps what Dr. Meadows was saying, winning in the same, even though you lost the first time, you go back in and potentially get your break even or win.
That's correct.
So
You just keep going in and you keep battling, and that's the goal.
awesome. So a few more questions and we'll call it quits tonight, Tim. So if you can tell us about your biggest loser, Tim. Can you remember something about your biggest loser?
Oh, I do. I just had that conversation last Sunday, or not last Sunday. I think it was the week before with Ernie on the lessons learned.
Okay. Yes.
So and it was actually on a zero DTE, and it was using the strategy that we were working on last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying the market was going against me.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to adjust the trade, and to do that, I had to drop my stop loss, and the market blew by me.
Uh, yeah.
And it was a pretty big loss. In a matter of fact, I actually stopped doing zero DTEs like the next day,
Mm-hmm.
because it hurt a little bit. And that was a big lesson learned, that I was over positioned. My position size was too large for my account.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up losing, I think, somewhere around 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very painful lesson about position size.
Yeah.
That's being able to adjust is huge, but being over positioned is just critical.
Mm-hmm.
If you get in over your head, it doesn't take much to wipe out your entire account.
Not at all.
I
Not
was
at all.
fortunate I didn't wipe out my account, but I took a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fortunate I got it back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's if you're in any trade, and if what you're risking is going to harm you financially, you need to reconsider it. That's a
Yeah.
big mistake. It's the one that's
100%.
painfully learned.
Yes, yes. What about your biggest winner? Can you remember that?
I've had a lot of good winners, but my favorite is probably not my biggest,
Mm-hmm.
and that was um, earlier this year when I had two Bionic Bulls
Mm-hmm.
on Carnival Cruise Lines and Norwegian Cruise Lines that
Oh,
I
okay.
think I hit for um, I don't know, maybe 750, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was, to me, it was like a kid and candy store. It was a big win. With once it started going up, there was absolutely no risk in the trade.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just every point it was going up was just ringing the cash register.
Yeah,
So
I
that
think you
was
I
by
think
far my.
you might have shared that trade with some of the members in the group,
I
and
did.
I,
I
yeah,
was very happy about that trade.
yes, because a number of people did really well with that trade. Uh, for people who are not members of the Dorian Way, a Bionic Bull is a strategy that Ernie created that the group named Bionic Bull, and it's basically gives you unlimited upside without paying for that. So most of the time, if you're going to have unlimited upside, you have to pay for that. You have to buy a call or something such as that, or shares to have unlimited upside. But a Bionic Bull is a way you do it for credit, that you actually receive monies into your account, and that's one of Tim's favorite strategies, which is awesome.
It's one of my favorite strategies.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
uh,
I'm always
uh,
looking for a good bionic bolt. Yeah.
yes, yes. So Tim, tell us, provide us any other insights you think might be good for people, someone that's listening that's new to options or experienced with options, or that's looking to, maybe potentially do day trading with options, or just, trade options to supplement their income at the very least.
Well, I just can tell you what I know. One of the things I've been repeating a lot here lately, and it's from Tasty Works.
Hmm.
And it's one they always say, it's trade small, trade often. I know you say the same thing.
Hmm.
That is huge.
Hmm.
The you know, always understand your position size, and if you don't understand a trade, don't do it. There's a lot of people that throw, hey, do this, hey, do that. But if you don't understand the trade, don't get into it. The and don't be greedy. It's going to come. We can't predict what the market's going to do. We just adapt to it,
Hmm.
and you try not to get greedy. Those are the best words of wisdom I can give.
Yes, awesome. Tim, I would like to thank you for joining us this evening for this interview. It's been a joy to get to know you over the last 14 plus months, and to be able to see your account go from low to significantly higher, and to be able to see you winning. Seems like every week it seems like you're winning these days, which is awesome. It's encouraging, and I believe you're going to be able to trade full time, hopefully into perpetuity, because it's nothing like trading full time. It's fun. It's rewarding. You get to do something that you truly love on your terms, which is great. So keep doing what you're doing, Tim, and I'm sure we'll have you on here again, talking about some more successes.
Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all that you've done for me. So I've really enjoyed my time with the Dorian Way.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim. Talk to you soon. Good night,
All right, thank
everyone.
you.